All right. In the last video, we have discussed about hooks part 1, in which we have discussed about before all, before, before steps. Let's continue with that. And I'm going to comment it out to make it simple. And let's start with the one by one. So we have first one, something called AfterAll. Okay. So here, let me write functions. Okay. So simply say console log. Console log, let's say, see, why we are using before all? Let's say initializing the driver. Now I want to quit, right? So in that case, I will say quitting the driver instance, right? Driver instance. So now if I run this, okay, let's see what will happen here and try running your scripts in second. npx CucumberJS test. Okay, so you can see quitting driver instance because it has executed all the scenarios of 2 files and 12 steps and then it got executed. Right? So it's quite opposite to the after all. So before all. And do we have the same way for before? Yes. Same thing. Copy this and just paste it over here. I will simply say after. Okay. In before what we have done, like we are doing some login kind of stuff, right? Okay. So same thing we have to do for logout also, right? So for each and every scenario, you want to log in. We used before, and you want to log out, right? So in that particular case, we can make use of it. I'm just giving an example. You can use as per your requirement, as per your project requirement. Let's try running it and see what will happen. You can see this is logout, this is logout, this is logout. 3. That means after each and every scenario is completed, this after will be executed. Similarly, we have something called after step also. After step also. After step, right? So after step, what will happen? How many times it will be executed? 12 times. And the reason is straightforward because it is saying after steps. We have 12 steps in here. 1 second. Cannot find after step. 1 sec. Before. Yeah. So the issue is we are missing the import. So just try running it. Okay. So you see this every time. So instead of this one, instead of this is logout, simply say this is after step. After each step. Let's correct this as well. After each scenario. Okay. So clear. Just run it and see. So you can see after steps. Okay. Simply copy these. Control F. You can see 12 are there. The reason is we have 12 steps in 3 files of 2, in 3 scenarios of 2 files. Okay. So like this, you can define your pre-hooks and post-hooks in the before hooks as well as after hooks. How many we have? 6. Before all, before steps, after all, after and after step. Let's say we have multiple before alls or multiple before steps. What used to happen? It used to execute the way it is defined. That means whatever the first function it sees, it will be executed. After that, the second one. After that, the third one. How about the case of the after all or after steps? In this case, what will happen? Do you think it's a sequential? Let's see. Okay, I have written two after all. I will mark this one as a 1, right? I will mark this one as a 2. Okay. So earlier, what used to happen for before all? This is first, this is second. In this case, let's see what will happen. So I'm going to comment it out these two because we are discussing about having multiple after hooks. So simply run your thing. Sorry, one extra letter and run it again. Okay, see here, 2 and 1, but it should be sequential, right? But when it comes to after, it's a reverse. Whichever is found last, it will be executed first. That means in the reverse order. In the reverse order. Whereas if you see 2 before us, and if I mark this one as a 1 and this one as a 2, right? And if I execute it, observe here, 1 and 2. When it comes to after all, 2 and 1. That means it's a reverse order. Okay, it's a reverse order. Priority will be this one. After that, this one. It makes sense, right? Because you want to do a thing which has to be done in the last, right? So in that case, after all or after steps will work in the same fashion. I'm giving the example for only one, but you can try for after, you can try for after step, right? So in general, majority of the times we have multiple hooks of same type in very rare scenarios. It depends upon the project. I cannot say very rare scenarios, right? Okay. So I hope the concept is clear. The hooks are specially used for pre and post activities, right? So when we integrate with the playwright, we'll get to know how these things will be useful. Okay. And we have two more concepts left. One is a tagged hook, one is a named hook. Okay. So we will see in the next scenario, in the next video, sir, how extra parameters can be utilized in the after hooks. Okay. Whether you want to check a given scenario is in a failed status or past status. What is the ID of what is the scenario name of the current scenario that is being executed? You want to know everything and you want to log it to the reporting. So how can we get all those details? Okay. So here we will get some additional parameters when it comes to after hooks that we will see in the next video along with the named hooks. Okay. And tagged hooks will be discussed after discussing about the tags concept in Cucumber. Thanks for watching.